vibrating. Hello? It's the tea party.
I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day. I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day. I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day. Please tell me, Mama, what more can I do? Tell me, Mama, what more can I do? Lord, I know I can't get along with you. Go at my window. Stop knocking on my door. Go at my window. Stop knocking on my door. I got another woman. I can't use you no more. I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day. I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day. I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day. When you's in trouble, I worked in Pedro. I worked in Pedro fine. When you's in trouble, I worked in Pedro fine. Now I'm in trouble. You don't pay me no mind. I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day. I'm going to German. I'll be back some more day.
Back and have a nice cup of tea.
I'll be back some more day.
What do you think your life is at? All right. Could you hear me talking or not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
like you was freaking crazy.
You was freaking crazy. Okay. Well now. And who do you think you are anyway?
Can I be Alice today?
If you like.
Can I be Alice tomorrow?
What do you think? At least the pork. That'll be
Won't you be my chauffeur? So won't you be my chauffeur? I want you to drive me. I
Oh,
want you
we
to
have all
drive
kinds
me
of fun
downtown.
for you today.
'Cause when you drive so easy, I
We're doing this
can
all
turn him down.
I know. You are on that. Yes, you're supposed to hall and turn it on and point it in here like cool.
To be driving them girls around. And I'm gonna steal me at this door. Shoot my chauffeur down.
That's a tricky one. Doing that part. soon because I have no guests.
Oh, well, I'll be back.
Okay. Right, so
Never find him. Say I'ma find him. A brand new V8. A brand new V8 Ford. And he won't need no passengers. I will be his load. Go let my chauffeur, say go let my chauffeur drive me around the world. And he can be my little boy, yes, I'll be his girl.
Okay, ready? Well, he's a whiskey-headed man. Yes, he stayed drunk all the time. Well, he's a whiskey-headed man. Yes, he stayed drunk all the time. Well, if he don't stop drinking, I believe he gonna lose his mind. Well, every time I see that man, he's in some whiskey joint. He's slipping around the corner, trying to get another half a pint. Well, he's a whiskey-headed man. Yes, he stayed drunk all the time. Well, if he don't stop drinking, I believe he gonna lose his mind. Well, every time I see that man, he's walking up and down the street. He's driving and talking with everyone he meets. Well, he's a whiskey-headed man. Yes, he stayed drunk all the time. Well, if he don't stop drinking, I believe he gonna lose his mind. whiskey-headed man. Yes, he stayed drunk all the time. Well, he's a whiskey-headed man. Yes, he stayed drunk all the time. Well, if he don't stop drinking, I believe he gonna lose his mind. Well, every time I see that man,
Oh yeah.
he's in some whiskey joint.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to make a bet, trying to get another half a
Now,
pint.
if anybody sees the badger, you just send him right all over for
Yes, he
tea.
stayed
I have the fresh muffins. All right. Oh, here's the badger now.
Don't stop
Hey, Mr.
drinking.
Mad Scientist.
There.
How are you? Happy Thursday.
Same to you. I got some fresh muffins.
Hallelujah.
And I got some really good jam.
So, how about tea?
Well, that's coming. I got tea too. What's up? All these things.
Oh, I was trying to nap and couldn't and forgot my coffee.
I'm glad you brought show and tell. That's a wild one.
It's a piece I'm working on. It's all stuff from Reed Creek. I went down there the other day. Oh, you know, speaking of Reed Creek, the pink house no longer exists.
Wow.
I came in
Happened
yesterday.
overnight, huh?
Well, I came in yesterday with Miss Bonnie and we got Martha, the fishmonger.
Uh-huh.
And there it was, just down to a few bricks left in the basement.
You know what we should do? We should go gather up some pink bricks.
Well, maybe. I'm just wondering, you know, my dog is buried right outside the backyard of the pink house. Or what was the backyard. You know, there was a chain link fence between the yard and the stream, and the dog is
They'll
buried there.
probably be building a condo on the dog.
It's probably like scarier than the Indian graveyard.
I was gonna say, this, I can already tell. This has healing powers.
Yeah.
Did you pick up on that as you were making it?
Well, when I found it, I was totally amazed. I mean, feel that stuff.
Sure.
Whatever twisted it like that was.
You did not do this.
Oh no,
This is,
no.
oh, that's,
Oh yes, I did. Well, those are my teeth marks.
That's awesome, isn't it? That's a lovely piece there.
Yeah, and all the oyster shells were there. I don't suspect they grew there in the stream, but there are
If
actual.
they did, they were very old.
Yeah, they still had elasticity because they're soaking in the water, so they could still open and close. But then they dried out. They dried out, and you know they closed. But I put a few little blue beads in them, so I'm thinking of calling it the blue pearl lightning rod or something. It makes a nice noise.
That's a good one.
So I need to put this one last thing up inside somehow and figure out how it's going to go in there. It'll go. So.
All right. Well, let me see if I can put some. Would you like to be more prominent in the view?
You know, there it is. Jeez, make it bigger. Wow, that's the background stage.
That's the way it is.
Everything just.
You've met Badger, yes? Okay, come on in and have a seat. I'm gonna cook some tea and fix some muffins and stuff. Of course. We don't have anything yet.
Well, no, I was just hearing her voice.
His voice. I'm not. Well, you hear his voice.
Hearing
It's a
voices.
sound.
Oh,
I mean, I need to speak.
it is. It's the music.
Yeah. The voices.
If I could count on y'all to carry on
entertain
conversation
ourselves?
and stuff like that,
All right.
I'll cut the music down. And
Well, I was, you know,
Oh, what, if you can depend on us to talk?
yeah.
Oh, okay, what do you want us to talk about?
So we have a theory here. You know.
talk about the
Rich-
voices we hear in our heads.
We have
Which ones?
the good ones. Talk about the good ones.
The good voices?
Do you hear voices, Badger?
Oh, once in a while. It's
Do you
usually
feel-
just calling out my
Do you
name
feel
sharply.
compelled to obey them?
No, they don't usually give me any instructions.
Instructions,
They just
that's
say,
what you're
it's
lucky.
kind of just like, hey, you know.
I get mad.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama pops into my dreams and he'll pop in and go, hey, like that. He does that.
Yeah, I have, oh God, I can't sleep much lately. I have too many dreams and
Last
just-
night I dreamed I was a woman.
Yeah?
And I was a lesbian.
it makes sense.
And I was having sex with another woman.
Uh-huh.
Hot.
Wow. I dreamed I was pregnant once.
All right.
And in the dream, I was just thinking, cool, I'm pregnant. Yeah, and it didn't really occur to me that, you know, I was a boy and that probably getting pregnant wasn't, you know, part of my makeup, but in the dream it was cool.
Well, now, let's see. Wait a minute.
You know, speaking of my dog,
Talking
you
about
know,
weird dreams?
well, yeah, I was just mentioning that the pink house no longer exists. It was destroyed apparently yesterday or the day before because I came by there.
Pink house?
Yeah, the pink house. It
Are
was
you with the pink house?
an institution, or should have been.
Oh, is
that real big one?
Yeah.
The one right down where, you know, French or
Mount
Lexington goes into Broadway.
Okay.
There was this big old pink house,
Wow.
and
They demolished it?
yeah, it was right where the stream actually comes out of the storm sewer, right next to the pink house, then kind of wove around behind it and goes down to wherever it goes. And my dog is actually buried out back there because, you know, years ago when I got busted for the garden at the river, I moved up to the backyard of the pink house. And then realized that while waiting for court, I had to wait for the dog to die, and so he ended up being planted behind the pink house. And I'm hoping there was a big, deconstruction crane thing parked there, and I hope they weren't really parked on the grave, but
Well,
wasn't it a few years back that the garage back there that used to hang over the stream burnt down and killed like 3 people that were living inside of it? Or something like that.
I think somebody got burned up in the garage.
Yeah, I heard it was like 3 people that got smoked and
I don't know though. But
Oh,
definitely-
interesting.
but
Whoa. Interesting. I'm not really a talking head, but it's
there you
interesting.
are.
Well, that can stop some of the vibration a little bit. Let's see.
Hey, I'm cool. I'd rather vibrate. Well, shh.
Oh, look at you now. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I'll
No,
disappear.
you're gonna vibrate. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it. You're gonna vibrate.
I'll be a talking head and I'll vibrate.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't do some what's
You can
that?
float around.
Similistic?
You can float around and go, ooh. You can just sort of come in from the side, you know.
Here,
go,
if we
ooh,
Yeah.
you'll see
turn
you.
that button. I can't. I'd probably.
Decapitated.
I would make the good sport or weather guy that has to point.
Oh, that has to
things,
point to
you know,
things.
Like, oh, it's
That
raining over there.
control up there
and
goes
see, I would
to.
go off to this brick instead of.
That control up there goes
I
to.
would-
No, we were talking on your screen. We were doing weather casting. Okay, this atom goes to. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah, so much for weather casting. Hey.
Uh-oh.
Is that the 420 thing already?
The 420 roll?
John has to do the 420 roll.
Way cool, way cool.
Yeah, speaking of dreaming too much and my dog and stuff, a couple of summers ago must have been, because he's been dead 8 and 10 years now, but had this dream where I was out with this older woman in front yard of her house, and she was hanging clothes on a clothesline, and all of a sudden my dog came bouncing out the house across the porch, down the steps, and into the yard, and he was looking at us, smiling and waving his tail. And the woman says to me, well, did you let your dog out? And I go, no. And then she said something else I can't remember. And then she says, well, don't you love your dog? And I'm looking at the dog, and he's looking at me, smiling and waving his tail. And he says, oh, yeah, but he's been dead for 8 years. The whole time the dog was just sitting there, smiling
Yeah.
and wagging his tail. And it was the strangest dream. But, he comes back and dreams all the time.
It is 420.
It is
Yay.
So are we going off mic? So the
We shall be
420 thing?
back.
We will
Okay.
when we get the roll off.
Excuse me.
When he gets it ready, we'll
It's-
see you later.
Actually, it's up to it's optional. We can go off or we can stay on.
Oh, you can go off. That way I can.
Let me see.
Okay.
Off or
consider.
on? Off or on?
Here's number 15. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
All right, stay tuned. Even though it is 421. Oops, you started without us.
What?
Yeah.
All right. We're coming along. Coming along now.
We be back.
Toodles.
This is it.
Miss Diane?
Okay, here we go. All right. I'm getting there. I'm working on it.
You hear the music?
Almost.
I do.
Do you? All right. Here it comes.
I got the beat.
At check-in, customers are the
Good morning. Welcome to the Pleasure Saucer.
Always Cry Theater at a crowded 5.
Watch The Casey Waters Show, Sunday nights, 9 p.m. on URTV. To get interesting, eccentric, philosophical presentations, and artwork by Judson Laird, which is manipulated using interesting graphic art techniques. You're watching the 420 roll.
Can you see it? There's stuff. You can
Old sores will go away. Put on a happy face. Your cold sores will go away. Put on a happy face. 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 Your cold sores go away. Put on a happy face. Your cold sores go away. Put on a happy face. 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 Put on a happy face.
Hey, John, how are you doing?
I'm good. Say, you're watching the 420 roll.
You're watching the 420 roll.
Right.
What
Okay.
is that?
We are YUK, and you're watching the 420 roll.
You see what I mean?
Which one would you like me to play first?
You're all right. You're good. Go for it.
It's the Roy Orbison 80s guy lookalike. Oh man, I'm feeling kinda dizzy. Peel me off the floor, come on, get busy. Now I'm feeling a little bit nauseous. I had too much to drink, now y'all be cautious. I'm all alone by the porcelain throne. I need some water, maybe a doctor. Where's the bathroom? Get out of my way. Here's the kitchen sink. I hope that was okay. I'm sorry, I'll clean up this mess. In the kitchen, living room, dining room, and all the rest of the house. I'm all alone by the porcelain throne. That's the toilet. I need some water, maybe a doctor. I'm sorry, I walked right through that screen door, and my head made that big hole in the wall. And about stepping in all that doggy do, smeared it in the carpet of every room. I'm all alone by the porcelain throne. I need some water, maybe a doctor. As a slightly shortened version.
Is that your guitar? We're back.
Back.
Turn this one up and either turn.
Hey Billy, if you were out there, that last song was fabulous. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know they're messing with the Badger.
Yeah, I'm gonna if I can work on this and function at the same time. Yeah, I should be able to, because I work in public all the time. And I'm always, telling stories and, stuff while I'm working.
Well, keep talking. You're the entertainment.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run
okay.
around because I know you want a cup of tea. Give me time to run around and set the tea table and stuff.
Okay, great. I'll just sit here and babble, maybe. I'm not really. I'm Badger. I'm back in Asheville. Those of you who probably all heard the story before. How I found. I was invited to Asheville back in '95 and arrived and built things out of waste concrete and did that for a while and now I'm back. It's a great story. I'd actually like to build a giant mound in the shape of a salamander down there where the garden used to be.
That's what you said.
But,
Why
yeah.
a salamander?
It just seems appropriate. A salamander or something. They have the snake mound someplace else, and I think salamanders are just underappreciated. Yeah, and they're fabulous creatures, and
Well, a salamander is a wondrous thing.
yeah, and they were the old days. They thought that salamanders were born in fire or something, and probably because they lived in the giant logs they threw on their fire pits or something. Came running out in the heat. Yeah, probably. But anyway, I just thought salamander 150 yards long or something and 20 feet high would be an appropriate thing for that space.
Well, that would be a large salamander.
Yeah. And could build it with rubble from tearing down some of the other derelict properties down there, and wouldn't have to ship the rubble too far, save on gas and expense, and keep me busy for 5 years. Because I imagine it could take me at least 5 years to build a mound like that.
That big, huh?
Yeah, it would be, kind of Asheville's version, perhaps, of, maybe Mount Rushmore or the Crazy Horse Monument. I would be just down there building giant mounds on the river. Thank you. Yeah, that's. I will definitely have to unload this before I ride my bicycle back to Tennessee.
Yeah. Probably want to put your muffin on later.
Oh, thank you twice. But,
When we get to the muffin.
I'm salivating with anticipation. I'm trying not to grab a cookie until the tea is
Oh,
finished.
no, go ahead. Don't merge. That's why they're there.
Well, it's just.
Because it'll take a while for the tea to steep.
I'm just trying to, maintain some self-control. It's like often I'll more or less force myself to finish some project before I allow myself to have a tobacco product or to get another cup of coffee or something. I'll have to, finish an hour's worth of work or something. Let's see. I just don't know how this is going to happen.
Uh-oh. Listen to that.
It's a boiling.
It's a long mouth.
It's spewing and spitting.
This tea steeps rather quickly that I'm getting ready to put in.
Ooh. You're not going to get electrocuted on that thing, are you? Well, it's just, that doesn't look like a very safe tea kettle. It seems like some person could get burnt horribly with that tea kettle.
don't want to let it steep a few minutes, you know.
Okay. Well, now that it's on the table, I can have a cookie. These are like little,
Not much to those.
yeah, there's this Norwegian cookie that my mother used to make, and it actually had like a little griddle that you could set on top of the stove that had a ball joint that you could rotate it, and it was kind of like a little waffle iron.
Uh-huh.
Only, you poured out the batter on that thing,
Right.
and then flipped it over, then you rolled it around this little steel tube, and it came out like this, only bigger.
Uh-huh. Paper thin like that.
Yeah, and I think it was, I think they called it krumkake, basically crumb cake. And, with sun buckles too, something that were a little thicker, but the same kind of taste, more or less. It brings me back to my childhood.
I have to go get some cream now.
Wonderful. I should come down to the tea party someday, whoever's out there in TV land. Get free cookies. And sometimes brilliant conversation. And commentary. And sometimes not. And sometimes just an old freak like me sitting here talking at a camera. Ooh. Just anticipating my caffeine fix. So, what kind of tea are we drinking today?
That's PG tips.
Oh, I see. It's England's #1 tea, it says so on the box. It's gotta be true. And what better tea to have at a tea party than England's #1 tea? PG Tips tea. I wonder if that is a commercial.
I'll put some oolong in here.
Some what?
Oolong
Oolong?
from Wuyi Mountain.
Now that I've seen Billy on the 420 roll, I really would like to see him in person.
He lives in a trailer park.
Well, go figure.
I'm not sure exactly how to get it. I've been there once, but I've...
Well, I rode in with Bonnie yesterday from out there in Leicester, and we came down, the river route, and I had vague memories because I think, a decade ago or something, we drove down that thing out past the old prison or something, and
it did indeed.
Yeah, and it was an interesting trip. It was like, kind of like a deja vu memory or something. Everything was vaguely familiar, but just vaguely. So, in the last week when I was, suggesting people came out to, see this Parachute musical, I wish I would have computer accessed their thing first, because they actually played the 19th. So I missed their show. But we've seen them like 5 times, and I'll see them again. Because I saw them, talk to Josh, I guess it's the first week of July, and I said I was riding my bike over to Asheville, and he says, oh, we're playing in Asheville next month. So I just, assumed that he was playing like August, and apparently he meant 2 weeks. But he's one of those musicians, he could have been confused. So yeah, I've been hanging out down over the magnolia tree off and on. Did spend a couple of days doing chores out at Miss Bonnie's place, trying to get her driveway back from the overflowing rose bush and blackberry bushes, and God only knows what number of vines and creepers.
Serious creepers, huh?
Yeah, it was just
Jeepers creepers.
oh yeah, it's just so overgrown. Wow.
You like your back to the camera?
Well, you can read it now.
Yeah, you're like blue screen now. That's crazy.
Yeah, cool.
You like it when I get up right on the lens and talk stuff, don't you?
Oh, that was cool.
Did you see that part?
Oh, I was
At
just
the beginning?
I was just coming in when you were talking to the camera, going, "If you see Badger, come on."
You didn't look up at the TV. You
No,
just
I
did not
was
like it.
sneaking in behind you as and there you were.
And you thought you were being sneaky, didn't you?
Ooh, it's the
Oh,
tea
not
done.
necessarily, but yeah. I just walked in when you were suggesting that people send me here, and then there I was, and I don't know why. Yeah.
Oh, you do have stevia.
Oh, because I brought muffins, particularly
Oh, yeah.
because if
Yeah,
you
that's
came,
right, muffins
I
and
wanted you to
jam.
have some.
Right.
The white pot is probably ready to hit to pour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah, I
this
actually
pot will
probably
be
poured a
the
little
next.
early because I was jonesing.
This one will be the next. Oh, I haven't put any tea in here. That's right.
Yeah,
All right.
I was trying to nap and it was too hot, and I was reading and I didn't quite nap, so I got up and stumbled over here without getting coffee first, thinking
Was
that
it
I
too
had-
hot to nap?
Yeah, I have a little tent set up in the backyard of some friends, and so I don't actually have to sleep under the magnolia tree if I don't want to, and I don't think I'm going to. I was there for quite a long time last night. So this the Chinese stuff. I wonder what exactly it is.
Tea.
Yeah, well, you can make tea out of just about anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tea, you know.
It looks
Plant.
like it's rather like large insect legs or something.
No, I don't think.
Well,
No.
Chinese folks do eat a lot of strange things for medicinal uses, and
But this is the tea that gives you good feeling.
and we often use a little of that.
Cool. Good feeling?
This tea.
Is it a legal good feeling?
Absolutely.
Good.
It's just tea from Wuyi Mountain in China.
'Cause, I really don't like doing things illegal.
Oh,
It's hard.
Illegal or immoral?
Oh, immoral. Yeah.
Aren't they two different things?
Well, yeah, they're much different. Yeah, it seems like every time you turn around, there's another law making something else illegal. And
Yeah.
my father used to say that every time they pass a law, they should be made to take one off the books.
Right.
There's
It's a
too
little.
many of them.
I just thought, years ago that instead of, electing lawmakers, we should elect some that like unlawmakers.
Yes.
Because I saw,
Yeah,
something.
everybody wants to be a lawmaker. Who wants to be